Let's go to the issue of Christianity. You've written beautifully about it in the past. The latest book, Christians, the Urgent Case for Jesus in Our World. Have a look at this clip from The Project on Channel 10 last night.
So I think it's hilarious when someone messages me and says, you have to accept Jesus' love or you will burn in hell, because I love Jesus. I love any man who can get nailed for 3 days straight and come back for more.
So imagine if this was about another religion or a cartoon about Mohammed. We know exactly where that debate would lead. But why is Christianity such fair game, Greg?
Well, I think that's pathetic on the part of Channel 10, just absolutely pathetic. I've appeared on the project quite often. I've got a lot of respect for the people on it, Waleed Aly and so on, disagree with his views. On religion, he's often tremendously sensible and sensitive. You're quite right. If people spoke about Mohammed that way, you know, Channel 10 would get burnt down. That'd be a terrible thing. But, and if they lampooned a non-Christian religion in that way, there'd be outcries from, you know, the non-discrimination commissars and so forth. Millions of Australians believe that Jesus is the Son of God and a divine saviour of humanity. I don't believe that guy gets any text saying embrace the love of Jesus or burn in hell. I don't believe any Christian says that to him. But even if he does, that's no justification for holding millions of Australians' most sacred belief in utter contempt. And it is a sign of a sick program in a sick culture that it would do that and think that's funny.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? The tolerance only works one way. Let's go to the UK. Brexit. We heard this week, obviously, there's been that meeting between the UK Prime Minister and the European Union. This new Windsor framework, we're told, will allow Northern Ireland to exist simultaneously within the UK customs zone and the EU single market. Everyone's saying, you know, well done, Rishi Sunak, you've done the deal. Can he rightly claim to be the PM that's got Brexit done?
Well, I did think the Northern Ireland element of it was a tremendous defect with the deal that Boris Johnson did. I think it's a great pity the Conservatives got rid of Johnson, who was clearly the dominant figure in their party and their government and who won a huge mandate from the voters. I do think Rishi Sunak is a pretty impressive guy. He has stabilised the ship, and I think the EU at last is having a little bit of an attack of common sense and remorse at all the trouble they've tried to cause on the Northern Irish border. There was never any reason for this to be so much trouble. The EU has land borders with other countries where it doesn't impose, you know, fierce, you know, obstructive border controls or anything. And the EU was almost begging for sectarian violence to break out in Northern Ireland to vindicate the wickedness of Brexit. There's absolutely no reason why you can't have a practical, you know, arrangement where goods going from the UK to the part of the UK, which is Northern Ireland, have no customs troubles, and goods that are headed onto the Republic of Ireland, which is part of the EU, have to clear a form of customs. That deal was always on offer from the Brits. The EU has finally had a belated attack of partial common sense, and I think Sunak is going to be very hard for him to win an election, but I think he's proving to be quite a good, sensible Prime Minister, and I think this is a good step forward.